I think it's echoing. Is it echoing?
But yeah.
Maybe. How about that?
Jasper.
Okay. Welcome to the Northern Show.
Hello.
Let me go make sure it's on, okay?
Alright.
Alright, I think we're good. So, let's do it like this. I got a topic in mind.
Alright.
And this is a topic that we're not going to talk about.
Okay.
Okay? So we're going to kind of like have a regular convo, talk show host style. You could be the host, I'll be the host, but we're going to talk about everything but this one thing.
Okay.
Okay?
And what is this one thing we are not talking about?
Well, you kind of have to guess. Okay.
Oh, God.
Like, we're just going to go, and then if you get too close, I'm going to...
So I'm not supposed to guess.
You're just supposed to talk like a regular guy that you are.
Regular guy?
You're clearly just a regular guy.
Yeah, I'm high as a kite right now, but regular guy.
Alright, well, I'm drinking coffee. Does that count?
You're drinking coffee? I'm fortunate if I drink anything, it's just going to dribble down my neck.
I'm high on caffeine, man.
They didn't make this mask very well.
Okay, so first take a look at me. See if you can figure out, like, maybe you know the topic just by looking at me.
Well, given what has happened in the world, I have an idea of what you might want to avoid.
Okay, so you brought up the world. That I'm not saying that's it, but you are going.
I didn't say the world. I just something has happened.
Okay.
I guess it's the world.
I'm holding in my hand a piece of paper with just the topic on it.
Which I can't read, so I really don't know.
And the whole point is not to talk about this, so just keep going and make sure you don't land on this.
Alright. You know, if you made it in larger font, you might have been able.
Also, I'll say that, so what do you think of, like, you know, you have your kind of room with the calendar again, like last show.
True.
I've got, you know, I'm in this white, like, studio. And, you know, do I look normal? Does everything
look normal?
Okay. Because I might look a little different since this thing just happened.
Oh, that's true, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, my emotion, I might have emotions that I did.
You do look different.
Do I?
I agree. I look different too, actually.
Well, yeah, last time you looked a lot like the Joker.
Yeah, and he was very drunk on sleeping pills.
Okay.
So I rewatched the video as obviously Deadpool, and I could barely understand him. So I'm thinking next time that guy might need a mic.
Oh, okay, so, well, also your volume was low.
Yeah, I think it was.
But let's go back to your...
It was for him.
Let's go back to your theory, though, the pills.
Yes, sleeping pills. Too many sleeping pills.
And if it had been if it was the pills, are you here as Deadpool to say, look at me, I'm fresh, upbeat.
Well, I'm wearing a mask on top of a mask, so I don't know how free I feel.
Oh, okay. Well, you know there's a pandemic going on, right? Is that why you have the mask on?
Yeah, there's
a
pandemic.
Yeah,
and I don't.
And that's not the top. That's not the topic. We're not supposed to.
I'm so glad.
Were you worried? You were like, no, is this it?
No, I really didn't think that was the topic.
No,
because the Joker brought that up last time you talked to him.
Right. Yeah, last time he was on the Northern show, the Joker gave his feelings on how the pandemic will make it easier for him to commit acts of violence, actually.
Which is true. He also thought.
I see you haven't. So, okay, you came here with a new goal, but you're not deviating from that stance.
I am not saying I created the pandemic.
I didn't hear from. That wasn't a rumor that I heard.
If anyone was going to make this virus instrumental, it would be the Joker.
All right. Well,
I don't really care about causing viruses. I just laugh in the face of them.
All right. Well, let me give you a little update. I did a stand-up show.
Oh, that's correct.
In Calgary, Alberta. Among the pandemic victims, I was among them. I went out where they breathe, and I risked my life to do comedy.
And how are you feeling now?
I have no symptoms of the virus.
That's great. I'm so glad.
And I got some laughs. I got what I wanted out of the crowd.
That's good. How long were you on stage for?
I did a tight 10.
Nice. 10 minutes is solid.
Yeah, I did. I think I told you my new joke about suicide.
No?
It's of all the people that have ever committed suicide, some of them had to be named Hope.
Right, yes. You told that to the Joker.
Right.
That joke I remember watching.
And it killed on stage, so. I think, you know why I think it worked, Mr. Deadpool, is because people are depressed about the pandemic. So they're already thinking of these depressing jokes. So
it would be interesting
that's why
to see if suicide rates have raised since the pandemic.
What's your theory?
Well, I think they have.
I would too.
See, I was reading this book, Past Policeman.
Okay.
And it's all about this meteor that's about to head towards Earth. And suicides basically are not investigated anymore because it's pretty clear that people are ending their lives because they think the world's about to end.
Oh, I see. So it gives them a good reason.
Yeah, but what's interesting about this book is the main cop or detective is trying to solve a murder that everyone is ruling a suicide, but he feels is foul play. Quite clever. The book doesn't end with the meteor, though, but there's 2 more books. Looking forward to the end of the world.
What do you think the best reasons to end your own life would be if a person hypothetically was?
I think if you have a debilitating disease like me, but unfortunately I can't die.
Wait, what's your disease?
Well, if you strap on one of those X-Fang collars, I just have a lot of cancer.
Okay, what do you think about divorce or loss of getting laid off? Some people get laid off, then they commit suicide.
I don't think you should kill yourself if you lose a job.
Right. It's not good. It's not enough.
You could find another job. What was the one before getting laid off?
Marriage ending.
Oh, divorce. Well,
very common. Very common.
I believe there is one person for everybody.
Me too.
Until you find that person.
And I learned that on Disney Channel.
So if you believe that you have found your soulmate and they have still divorced you, I guess that you could kill yourself.
Pretty good reason.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like it. That's, not everyone would agree with you.
Well, a lot of people don't agree with a lot of the things I think of.
Oh, right. Is that true? Or are you more, what do they call that? Like you forge your own path.
Oh, I definitely forged my own path with 2 blades of steel.
Have you ever been to therapy?
I've tried it just
Yeah.
to see what it's like,
And
and then I got pretty bored
yeah,
of listening to myself.
right.
Therapist kept saying, "So how does that make you feel?" And I'm like, "Well, really, doctor, I can't die."
Right.
So I just feel that if someone could just kill me, maybe I'd feel something.
That sounds like a
What do
good
you mean you can't
therapist.
die?
That sounds like a real pro.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, you see, if you tried to shoot me in the head right now, which I'm not saying you should, but if you did, I would be still alive. And
Right.
like,
Right.
that's impossible. I'm like, well, I'm an impossible person. And then I left the room because he clearly was an idiot.
Yeah. Most of them are, to be like one of those people that sits on the couch, like, what are you doing with your life? You're not a real doctor. You're a what is it called? Note taker.
Yeah, definitely taking notes. Took a lot of notes on me.
I already feel bad about saying that about my therapist.
Oh, I did not realize you still had a therapist.
I'm gonna have to go to therapy and tell him I said this about him, probably.
Well,
Like, if he watches what if he watched my YouTube and then was like, "Hey man, I thought you liked me," and I was like, "Shit."
well, I guess that would be a big shock for him.
He probably doesn't watch YouTube though.
They're normally not supposed to really be involved in anything but your therapy sessions.
Do you think it'd be rude to ignore someone like while you were on call with them like this?
Well, it would be rude for the person that you are ignoring.
Right.
But if you're going to ignore them, you're going to ignore them, and they're going to figure it out, hopefully, and just, shut off the call. Or they just talk to themselves. Maybe they like to talk to themselves, like I do.
You didn't figure out that I'm ignoring you at all, huh?
Not yet.
Okay, good.
You're still talking to me.
Good, yeah. I looked at my phone and I started to think, that's rude. I'm on this YouTube call.
Another YouTube call.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Let's make a serious show of this.
Okay.
What's with the mask?
Which mask? I'm wearing two.
Well, like last week you had a mask on.
That's true.
Do you want to do a show without it? I feel like it might help your comedy career.
You think so?
Well, how is anyone gonna know it's you?
Are they supposed to know it's me?
Well, okay, here's the thing with YouTube. It's like we're on here, right? We can put up videos. So if you don't have to, I'm just saying, like, we could use YouTube as a way of promoting comedy.
Fair.
But if you have masks on every time, I just don't think it's helping you. Maybe it is.
You don't think it's helping me?
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be overanalyzing this. Alright, see, now you look like a real man. We should test the audio again, because, last time it was so annoying since your thing was so low. I tried to listen to it again and it sucked.
What sucked?
The volume. I mean, you did great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Your performance as the Joker was good.
Yeah?
But the volume was too low.
Yeah, I could barely hear it. You said you wanted to hear the Joker, so I thought doing different characters of the Joker was funny. So.
No, you're right, and I'm torn because I think it's cool that you characters. I think characters are cool, but I just want to make sure we're like using YouTube or getting content that's usable.
Well, why don't you let me know when you want the Joker, and then the Joker will come back.
All right.
And we'll just do a regular show when you want to do a regular show. It's not a big deal.
Well, you could do like half the show with, like, you could go in and out of character.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Because I have a character. Okay, watch. Like this whole time I've been Cody the comedian, right? And okay, watch this. This is unfunny Cody.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Right.
It's not that good. Yeah, that's not. I should work on it.
If you're gonna be not funny, you have to say stuff that's not funny.
Oh yeah, I thought maybe it'd be funny. Well, it's unfunny. It's not funny to just not talk. I mean, it's unfunny to not talk. If you went on stage at an open mic and you went, "I'm not gonna say anything," and then just that would be not funny.
People would find it funny for about 2 seconds, and they'd realize, wait a minute, he's serious.
Okay, so like, what are we doing with our lives here, Andy? Like, we're on YouTube just talking. Is this a good idea?
Well, it really depends. How many viewers do you have on the show?
The way I look at it, like, you have to start at one. You can't start with an audience. You have to do the show every week, and then they start to watch.
That's true, but how many viewers have you currently got so far? Or
how 5. I don't know, like, not many. If I put it up, like, on Twitter and Facebook, it gets more.
Yeah, that's good.
But I don't put it up, usually.
No.
Because, okay, here's the thing. For you, like, we've done a few, but I feel like we're still trying to figure out the volume, the Zoom, whether we want to do, like, stand-up jokes, whether we want to just chat about the news, right? So I kind of think of it like maybe we're starting a show, but we're still starting it. Like, we're trying to figure out the technical.
Fine.
Because, like, even right now, like, if I can't hear you on the replay, like, this isn't even usable.
No, it isn't.
Right.
But you're recording.
So that's where my head's at. So now we should talk about the election.
Wasn't that the thing we weren't supposed to talk about?
Was it?
Oh, is this like the game?
Yeah, it's a game.
Stupid game. You're not supposed to.
I could be talking about any election. See? Woo. Like, the election of Andy the comic to non... You just got elected as a non-mask guy.
That's true, I did.
Maybe I was talking about that. Was I? You'll never know what I'm actually...
You keep shoving that paper, but very quickly in my face.
Well, I do find the game funny, like, that there might be a topic I'm actually avoiding, right? And that it might have been, like, a big deal.
I probably ruined the game by mentioning what might have been the topic. But
anyway. This reminds me of a time we were at Hawaii Bar, and you told me about your cabbage joke, and I kind of, like, I liked it, or I got it at the time, and then you did it on stage, I think, and then afterwards you were explaining it to me again, and I was like, you told me before the show, I saw you do it on the show, and then outside Hawaii Bar, you were kind of like, it's lettuce, like that, and I was like, yeah, I got it. Anyway. So yeah, that Joe guy. What Joe?
I cannot see that piece of paper.
Which right? Joe? Yeah, I know. I don't want you to. It has the...
Okay.
Which Joe am I talking about? Joanna? Joe Rogan? What Donald am I talking about? Donald Duck?
Yeah, fair.
Are you gonna guess?
You want me to guess?
No, I'm kidding.
The whole idea is you not talking about
I know. I wanted to... Well, I thought it... Okay, but I thought if I tried to trick you, we would be able to circle around it, like, again.
I see.
Now I'm done. Now, I'm not gonna try. But wait, are you looking at your phone? I feel like you're doing that thing that I did to you earlier. Okay. You're not ignoring me? Oh, okay. Because it'd be funny if I said the joke about ignoring you and then you started ignoring me.
That would be funny.
And I have a theory that a lot of people go on, like, talk shows and ignore the host.
You think that's? I mean, I don't know. I think they would only ignore.
No, seriously, Andy, I bet you it happens more than you think.
I'm sure it happens.
Because even out of just nervousness, you might ignore the.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about your love life real quick?
My love life? Oh yeah, the absence of it.
Not doing a lot of COVID dating.
No, it's not really COVID dating. I tried to ask out one of my coworkers at work, and I don't think she realized it was a date.
Do you think this would make a good comedy bit or not really?
This.
No.
I mean, I think
it's sensitive, right? It's like you don't really want to talk about your own.
It's not. It's sensitive. Is it really funny?
Right. That's always the question. How do you know?
I guess it's funny because she didn't realize it was a date. So.
She didn't realize?
No. I was like, oh, we should, because she's Colombian. I'm like, we should try this Colombian coffee place. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then I tried to arrange the date for about like 3 weeks. It didn't really happen. And then I'm thinking like, I don't think she knows it.
The volume sounds good, so if this is gonna be a bit, this is getting we're getting this on tape. Okay, I have one question just to check if it's funny or not. Usually this is how a joke like this would go, and guys and girls do it. You get on stage like, I was on a date the other day, right? There's a lot of that, and sometimes they do go well. Like the audience is like, your dating life is terrible, or right? That's the reaction. I've heard a couple of jokes like that. Anyway, let's move on to my dating life.
Sure, let's do that.
Recently single. Yeah. Which isn't funny for me.
No.
But just like you, there's some misery involved in the breakup section, which I thought on stage, that misery portion can really get people laughing.
People usually find other people's pain funny.
Yeah, like right now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, don't bring it up. Right? But I did, because
it's your show.
It's my life, it's my joke, it's my dating life, and I want to own it. You know? And I feel like if in the future I watch this tape and I'm saying like, hey, ex-girlfriend, it's cool. I can go on this show with Andy and just bring it up casually and then move on. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. And she might think like, no way, like that. And then
the girl that's your ex? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then I think you met her.
Yes, I've met one of your girlfriends.
Okay, yeah.
Might have been right.
So
is that when you moved to Alberta?
Yeah. Same one.
To get away from her?
No.
So why?
Wait, is this part of the joke?
Oh, I'm just curious.
Oh, okay. No, that's not really what happened. But okay, back to the main thing that I wanted to get across here. There was a election, right? And nobody wants to talk about it. Except for, like, everyone wants to talk about it as well.
I see. Well, I haven't seen a certain individual for 48 hours.
Who?
I don't know, you tell me.
No, you tell me.
No, you tell me.
No, you tell me. Tell me, Andy, tell me.
Well, his first letter begins with T.
His first letter? No, it doesn't.
His first letter of his last name.
Last name. Oh, okay, yeah. So you are talking about the richest human being on Earth.
Some might say that, yes.
And the most powerful.
Yes, he was. I guess.
Oh, you spoil it! What the? You're not supposed to tell everyone.
I didn't tell anyone anything. You don't know what I'm talking about.
You ruined the show.
Ow.
We weren't gonna talk about it.
We aren't talking about it.
That was the tense part, Andy. Okay.
Still didn't
Okay. Think of it this way: if you get up on stage tonight, right, and you say, "Hey, everyone, I know what you're thinking."
Mm-hmm.
What are they thinking? Trump sucks. Right. But you're not gonna say that to the audience to like make them laugh. You're gonna hold it in and be like,
you could do either. You could do, I know what you're thinking, and then leave them.
You could. You're right.
Or
You
the
could.
other one is you could just go, I know what you're thinking, and then they just wait, and then you go, Trump sucks.
Okay. Well, can I give you some advice? The girl that didn't know she was on a date with you.
Mm-hmm.
What could you have done differently? Like the next time, what would you say to let?
Probably use the archaic words, I would like to go out with you. That clearly is the only way.
That's the sentence you're gonna go with.
I thought by doing it this clever way would work.
Oh, you tried to kind of trick her into thinking it was his friend thing.
Not exactly. I tried to say, let's go on a coffee date in the most subtle way possible, and it didn't work. And then I think I was trying too hard, and she clearly wasn't interested in dating me because she was like, oh, I'm going to this. Sorry, I'm partying with my friends. I'm like, okay, if I was actually interested in this person, I would make some kind of time for them. And she wasn't.
Fuck, man. Andy, life is so... What the hell?
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm getting a little depressed. Just listening to this story, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it sucks. That sucks for you, man.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Oh, you are? I'm not over my breakup yet.
Well,
I am over the election, though. Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great that he's done.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, that's what I should do. I should think of it like Andy and I are both moving on to better dates.
Yeah.
That's what Biden is. Joe Biden is a better date for America.
Yeah.
This is good. This is like one of those online essays that we're writing together. This is our truth, man. We're living in the truth.
Mm-hmm. Biden is a good wake-up call for America.
And you know who's surprisingly happy? Women. Because of Kamala.
That's true. She is.
You know, there's people that say women have been very oppressed on Earth for a long time. And this is kind of we have a seat at the table now.
Yeah. Women do, yeah.
Like my grandma, I was talking to my grandma today. She's stoked.
Good time.
Yeah.
The woman.
I got the washer and dryer right here.
Yeah.
Looks tacky, like bad.
Yeah, well, I only see a part
You're you know, like these paintings, like that one's crooked.
I don't see any painting.
Or that crumpled up magazine picture is a little...
Oh, that. Oh, you're looking at my stuff.
It's driving me crazy, the how it's not centered. Like, push it over a centimeter.
A lot of the stuff in my room is not centered, unfortunately.
I'm just trying to get you off the election talk. I knew you'd get hung up on that. I knew it. Like, no offense, Andy, but you have a one-track mind.
Do I?
It's politics and the Joker. Joker politics is what
You were the one who wanted the Joker.
I know. No, I love the Joker. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm a huge fan of the Joker. I loved, even like with low sound, it was still funny. I knew what he was saying, even like with his boggly head.
Yeah, I thought it was me. I didn't realize it was you that the volume was a problem. Because I thought it was the mask and...
It was my computer. Like, I hope it's good right now.
Well, you said it already is. You heard the volume?
It is, yeah. I checked it once.
Good.
Alright. Okay, so here's the thing. Every time we do this, I always think, like, is Andy have the same game plan in terms of, like, a startup business type YouTube where the first year or two is like a grind and you don't even know if it's working and you're basically just throwing words out into the wind and like seeing if they make any sense when they come out of your mouth. And it's a way of when you go do a stand-up set, you're more prepared because you just rambled on about it with someone else on the YouTube. And then at some point, a lot of these shows, like I know other YouTube shows that just started to gain traction at some point when there was some consistency. Is that what you think? Because every time I get off with you, I'm like, is Andy thinking what I'm thinking? Or does he just think this is like, like a hobby, but that we're not moving towards a goal or anything?
Well, I haven't really done comedy in a while. I've been writing.
Okay, well, part of it is like, what is your goal in comedy? Because for me, this is, like I said, an outlet to get the words out so that I can do them on stage. That's where I really, But also, people make skits on here. Like, we can write a skit and perform it.
We could.
That's another type of comedy video channel.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Like, what are we doing here? I never know after I get off with you where you're headed.
Right.
I think it's obvious where I'm headed. I'm always putting up these videos. Sometimes I don't even talk. I just play chess.
Right. I think you're more serious about comedy than I am. Right?
I'm not serious about it though, because
But you did the show.
But to me, it's like such an impossible dream to like get a whole hour together or something. So
you start small.
But that's why you might be more serious than me because I haven't even if you're talking about starting small, my thing is non-existent yet. It's so little in terms of like the jokes that I write down and keep around. Few, maybe 5.
What, hit?
Jokes. No, like just...
You only have 5 jokes?
Yeah, because I don't think of my comedy as, like, big yet. Or...
Okay.
So when you say I'm serious about it, I get offended, like, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's a weird thing to be offended about.
Well, if you're not serious about the comedy, you're not serious about the comedy.
But I could get serious about, like, always putting up YouTube videos so that at least I know, like, Andy's stuff's growing. Like, I could... Fuck, I'm not making any sense.
No, you are.
Am I? Like, I would like to invest in the YouTube show, even if it doesn't turn into a comedy show, because... I quit stand-up. Like, I'm just trying to get my comedy out there, and like sometimes the stand-up's not that great because I get too nervous, I forget the jokes, and I don't... So then on here it'd be better because I would have, for example, if we do the same show next week, I could come in with some jokes and at least, like, say them. Just get them off my chest.
Well, how did your 10-minute set go?
It went good. I'm not saying it didn't go well. I'm saying I see value in this YouTube as a comedy outlet that isn't related to stand-up as well.
Okay, well, this isn't stand-up.
Exactly. But that's my question. Like, are you talking about... Huh?
I thought this was supposed to be comedy. That's why I have to do the Joker or Deadpool or whatever.
I agree. I agree. It's supposed to be comedy. So here's an example. Like Joe Rogan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of one of the initial people to do this type of like show where it's on the internet, it's longer form. He's a comedian, but he's not always interviewing other comedians. So I feel like he turns off his jokiness to do an interview with like someone serious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we could do. Like sometimes we could be doing bits, and other times we could be doing.
Well, it's not just like. Don't you talk to more people than just me?
No, which is kind of a good thing, because you've proven to me to be the kind of person that is open and wanting to make stuff. Like you're also a writer. So when I'm on here with you, I hear your words and I'm thinking, this could turn into like a good script. Or so that when I say I don't talk to that many people, I don't talk to that many people like this. Like where we're kind of working together on something.
I thought this show was you interviewing comedians. Clearly,
I would, but it's harder than you think to get comedians on the show.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of them don't want to use. A lot of them don't want to use up their material. Anyway, who cares about any of this stuff? We can try it. Like we might as well do it once a week. Just see how long it takes to get some viewers. I think it's kind of inevitable. Like if you do it consistently, someone's gonna watch.
Yes. Yes. But I think you should figure out.
And then the other cool thing, sorry to cut you off. The other cool thing is there's a chat. And at some point, if you wanted, we could interact with that as a way of, like, that would make it cooler, because then people could, like, write.
Didn't we do that last time? Weren't people talking to the Joker?
No, I made up, I kind of made some.
You made that up?
No! One of them was real. It was a comment on, yeah, there was one. But I also made one up to make you feel better, like.
Which comment was real?
I would have to go back and watch.
Okay,
I can't remember. I feel bad. I shouldn't have lied. It's just that you looked so happy with the first comment that I wanted to keep it going. Like there was a bunch coming in, like anyway. Sorry, I feel bad. I'm sorry I did that, Andy.
It's not a big deal. It worked. It doesn't really matter.
But anyway, that could happen for real this next show, or like, once there's a.
You can't guarantee that.
No, I know I can't, but I just think it's very plausible that a few people would write in the chat.
I think you've got to figure out what you want this show to be.
Tell me, I'm willing to make it whatever.
Okay.
Right now, it's just me interviewing the Joker. Now it's me interviewing Andy.
Joker's not wearing a mask anymore.
So I've interviewed 2 people, 3 actually. That Ash, Ash.
Oh yeah.
I've interviewed. He's shy though. He doesn't like it. I've interviewed the Joker a few times, and then I've interviewed you as Andy. Only like this might be the first time.
On this show, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. But that doesn't mean I couldn't have tons of other comedians on now that we've started.
Well, like I said, you've got to figure out what this show is. If you want to just interview me, that's fine. If you want to interview others, that's fine. You also got to figure out who are you interviewing. If you're just interviewing comedians, your show's going to probably be comedic.
The other thing, yeah, you're right. The other thing though, I don't really like interviewing. Like I wouldn't mind getting interviewed as well. So it could be. There could be multiple hosts on the show.
It's possible, but if you want me to interview you, I would need to know that in advance.
Okay, well let's alternate. Next week you interview me. We'll do the same format. We'll do about an hour. Um, you know, you can ask me about my dating life. I can ask you about your dating life, but you're the host, so you're gonna kind of be like, answer my question.
I will be steering the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can suggest like if you want to do a skit, if you want to do impressions. I want someone to force me to do impressions.
I feel it's easier to do impressions if the person is doing impressions already. So, like, if I'm being the Joker or Deadpool, that's my impression.
Yeah, like you're great at Joker impressions.
Do that, yeah. But
and I'm not that good at Joker. I'm not.
Want me to just do different voices? I mean, I guess I could do that.
Different voices, eh?
I can't interview you. I guess I could interview you with a different voice.
Okay, let me phrase this a different way. If we were at a Hawaii bar, right? Which is a place I thought about bringing a camera, like to do this, what we're doing, but just outside the bar, or like, bad example, Yuck Yucks. Okay, they have a couple of podcasts that they film out of Yuck Yucks. Okay.
Alright.
If that was what we were doing, and you were kind of a like, if we weren't doing this from your bedroom to my bedroom, would it feel? Do you think it would feel different? Like you would want to? What would the show be like from Hawaii Bar or Yuck Yucks in your mind? Like a comedy entertainment show.
Well, I don't. Are we talking about like I'm on a mic here, or are we talking about like because you said?
Well, we would have mics because a lot of those podcast studios. This is what you should do next time. You should have a mic, just dummy mic, in front of you when you call me. That way, it's like you're the host. Here's your mic, and then I'll get a mic too, and that'll kind of show who's the host.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that.
So it is a little bit like you're describing, like a late night show with a comedy mic. The only difference is these are our bedrooms. We're not at a club or something.
No, we're not.
But I thought about doing it at a club. When I first had the idea of the show, yeah. That'd be the coolest, man. Like, from the basement of Hawaii Bar, or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't think clubs are really open now.
No, I know. That was a hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Yeah. So anyway, back to this election. The guy that won, we're happy about it, huh?
I am.
Yeah. And the fact that you dodged a bullet with that date, we're happy about that too.
I don't think she was the one for me. But yes, I think I dodged a bullet.
Have you seen The Notebook?
I believe I have, yeah.
That's a great love story, man. The guy is so in love with this girl that leaves him, and he builds a house with his bare hands from scratch, just to prove that he misses her so much. Andy, would you ever build a house from scratch with your bare hands?
Honestly, no.
Who would?
Well, my grandfather did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he do it for your grandma?
Yeah.
Your grandpa was the guy in The Notebook, dude.
No.
Yeah, yup.
Grandfather was Greek.
Huh? What? You're mumbling like Joker.
I said my grandfather was Greek.
Oh, okay.
The guy in the Notebook is not Greek. He came.
Hey, don't get mad at me, man. I was just kidding around. I was just kidding around. I was just trying to make a what's that called? Like a dating joke.
Oh, I see.
And it's also in Disney movies. You see, what'll happen is there'll be like a prince and a princess, and the prince will like save the princess, and the princess will be like, "Oh my God, you're the one that saved me."
Mm-hmm.
But that's not real.
Not really.
Nah. What's real is, you know what's real, Andy? People go on dates and they don't even know they're on them.
Yes, that does happen.
And in my case, fuck, breakups, man. I feel like you, of all the people that I've ever met, and I met you in Toronto, you've always been like very kind to me.
I
Just want you to know that. How do you think this show's going?
I don't really know what we're doing.
Me neither. I mean,
I think last time we did this was more fun.
We're doing, you know what we're doing? We're doing dating bits, though.
We are, yes.
There's something very unfunny about dating.
Well, dating's only funny, really, if you have a good story about it. And usually those stories are not happy.
Well, like your grandpa has a good one.
Yeah, but that's not funny. I mean, it's nice.
Oh, yeah.
He built a house for his wife.
But your theory is that funny stories are happy stories.
No, I never said that.
Oh. You know this old... Sorry. You know this old expression, which is that misery... No.
Misery loves company?
Not that one. Comedy is coming out of... Oh, it's time? Tragedy plus time.
Comedy is tragedy plus time?
Yeah, like, let's use a date that goes bad as an example, right? Like, you go on a date, you get your hopes up, or you get married, you get your hopes up, it's gonna last, and then, boom, you get divorced. That is the tragic part of your life.
Yes.
And then you go, if you were to make a movie about it, or write a book about it, you would say, you know, did you ever read Eat, Pray, Love?
I did not.
That was a good book about love. Anyway, so you basically say, listen, here's my movie. It's my tragedy, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's been a little while now. Wait, does that make sense? You tell the audience a joke or make a movie and you say, this was tragic, man. I thought I was gonna spend forever with this person, and then I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
So now, that's tragic, and I'm telling you all about it because it was a while ago, and tragedy plus time. It's a little bit like suicide, but not as bad. Like, if you get divorced, it's bad, right? That's tragic. But if you commit suicide, that's really tragic. And you can't talk about it. If you or someone you know commits suicide, you can't talk about that. That is the most tragic thing on the earth.
I think, as you said, tragedy plus time. I think after a lot of time has gone by, you can talk about it.
Right. Okay. So I know a guy that killed himself a long time ago. So right now I could bring that up. Right. That would be fair game.
Right.
But his wife, or his, you know, she might see this and think that is not funny. Do not joke about my dead ex-husband.
Well, you have to think it's funny before you say it, right?
Right.
Like, I don't see how.
Or write it. You have to write it and read it and think.
That works too.
Yeah.
I don't see how the person that you're talking about who killed themselves, how that is.
Okay, let me start over. So Donald Trump kills himself. When does that become funny?
Well, there's got to be more context to this. Like, why did he kill himself?
You know why. You know why.
Okay, fine. So that would be funny.
When though? The question is when.
Well, I don't know. It would be probably funny now. I would find it funny.
A little, because he was so cocky. Right? That's
funny. You know what's funny?
There's karma in him. like if Donald Trump pulls the trigger and we all find out tomorrow morning, we're all gonna go, dude, that guy was an asshole though. Like he was. He was. You can't rewrite who he was just because he pulled the trigger. It'd be like, okay, if someone called me after you killed yourself, I'd be like, Andy was a good guy. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's funny. He was an asshole. I'd be like, no, he wasn't. He was a good guy. We shouldn't laugh. Suicide's not funny when good people do it.
Well,
you know what's crazy? I know this is a good joke. I just thought to myself, I gotta use this shit on stage next week. See, it's working. It's working for me. I'm getting comedy out of this YouTube. Sometimes it feels like it's not working. For me, we're getting somewhere. And I think you could write a novel with this shit. You have novels on Facebook that are just waiting to pop out of you. Not probably. I see them. They're all on there. It always says Andy with rights or whatever.
Oh, that's just my signature.
But tell me this is not good content to write with. Come on, it is. You know it is.
This is good. This is good content.
Because we can talk politics and you can be like, shut up. We can talk dating and then you can be like, shut up. Like, every time I go too far, you could just pull me back in and write. Like, for me, I have a pen right here. If I wrote this down right now, what we're talking about, I know it would turn into a good kind of like story. Mm-hmm. You're the only one that understands me, Andy.
Good to know. Oh my God, some people think Trump won. This is ridiculous.
Dude, you're ignoring me, man. What the fuck?
No, I'm not ignoring you.
Yes, you are. You're actively ignoring me.
No.
And the audience can tell. They can see in your glasses what you're...
There's no audience.
I can see there's like 20 people watching.
I was trying to tell you about a guy that died from COVID-19 who was against COVID-19. I mean, that was fucking...
Oh, you just want to go back to the topic we're not supposed to discuss.
I thought, never mind. I'm not going to bring this up.
I thought COVID. We should make COVID the topic. Stop talking about it.
You weren't supposed to introduce the topic.
Well, is the pandemic the topic? I can't tell.
Oh God, you know, because you're the one telling me what not to talk about.
I lost that piece. I lost the paper that has the topic on it.
You don't remember the piece of paper?
Well, yeah, it's right here. It's right here.
Oh, anyway, so there was a guy who had COVID-19, who denied COVID-19, and died from COVID-19.
Okay.
That's funny. But I have a joke.
Wait, that's funny to you?
I find that funny, yeah.
Getting COVID and dying is funny to you.
Well, he was against it. He's like, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. I miss that part.
And then he has the virus, and then he dies, and it's like,
well, if Donald Trump had died from that, that would have been funny. Because he made fun of it.
Yeah. A lot of people have. There are a lot of anti-maskers.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm not. I thought about being an anti-masker. I decided against it.
You thought of being an anti-master?
I was approached, and someone, like, in my inner circle, my family basically was like, you should think about being an anti-masker. And I'm like, why? I don't think that's a good, like, way to be in the world.
Where is your family from?
A couple of them are rednecks.
Okay, where?
Huh?
Like where?
Here, Alberta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, rednecks, Alberta. Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to them. I don't think that's smart. People are dying from this
You know, Andy, listening to rednecks never gets you far.
No, it doesn't.
Never.
No.
They're sexist, racist, all the ists.
Yeah.
They are. It's really sad. And you can't change them. I tried to change my parents, or like one of them, and they were just like, nah, I'm gonna be like this forever.
That sucks.
Yeah, and it's your parents, so like even if you talk shit about them in therapy, therapists, I tried that. Doesn't work. The therapist is just like, welcome to therapy. This is what everyone talks about. Their parents. This is good shit. This is such good Okay, let me try to convince you that our show's gonna work, okay?
Okay.
Ash told me one time that you were a good guest, and he said, you know, he's a good guest, you should keep having him on. And I was like, Ash, you're a good guest. Like, I want to have both of you on. And Ash said to me, he's like, no, I'm not coming on the show because with me on the show won't work. And I was like, see, this is how crazy people get. And that's why you shouldn't be thinking these negative thoughts like, no one's ever going to watch our show. People...
I never said that.
You were alluding to that.
I just think you should figure out what the show is going to be.
And I think you should have half the say because it's your show too. Like, even if you're not the host all the time, when you go on the internet in this way, you become a host of your own, like, the platform that you're on. You know, like, Andy, you're the host of this Zoom. You're hosting this Zoom window.
Right. Well, then we should just...
That's such a dumb thing to say. Never mind.
We should, then we should just talk.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, for the record, and...
become funny.
Exactly, and for the record... Exactly, and for the record, Andy, you were wrong about that. Ash was wrong. And I'm going to prove to you that this show can work. Just us shooting the shit. You know, one of the problems I had when I was trying to do this on my own without you, I would put, like, little pieces of music in, and then it would flag my shit and take my video down. Yeah, and it was just me, so I would think, like, oh, I suck at this. But... you're here, and you can say, like, no, it's fine, that's just, like, YouTube's annoying, like, and we can move past...
You don't have the authorization to play the song.
Yeah, exactly, but what I'm getting at is, like, you can coach me through the microphone wasn't working, or it's not a big deal, it doesn't break the whole show, it doesn't make it so that we can't try again next week, you know, like, stuff like that.
Well, I didn't know that the Joker was going to sound terrible until I heard it myself.
I know. And, like, I didn't know my hair would look like this. I didn't know that you could see my little patch where there's no hair growing right here. Which, like, you can't undo that. You can't make the hair grow.
No.
Like, God has control over that, Andy.
True. He does.
But I did read, you'll think this is kind of interesting. I read on the internet, like Google, that a circular patch can be a sign from show business. People that do show business get it because there's stage anxiety. I don't know, could be totally made up. but I thought, oh, this is like my stand-up comic patch. Like
You don't have one of those.
right here. You can't see it? Okay. The only difference is that on this side, the hair comes down.
Yeah.
Let me see yours. Do you have any? You got gray. You got a little gray. Which looks good. Some of those gray beards look good.
Dad is calling me down for dinner. But,
That's so funny because we always end shows like this. Remember that one time your dad called and it was in the show?
I think so. Yeah, that did happen.
This is gonna be a thing. I know it. This will be a thing about your dad's your dad's almost like the time. He keeps time for us in a weird way.
Right. Well, before we leave, I think we should just hash the shit out like we do now. But I think every so often we should do characters. Maybe not all the time.
I love it.
I guess next week I will go back to the Joker, and then the week after that.
Sure.
And hopefully we can get feedback, or we can ask people.
Well, the other thing is now that the technical stuff is getting better, I'll share this out. Someone might be able to hear it, and then they'll know that we just said come back next week. You know what I mean? Like last week, if we had said we're doing it next week, no one would have even heard us say that.
Yeah. But this episode seems to be more of just us hashing the shit out.
I think this is a good method because this is what people like. Natural.
Next week we should be more on topic. If you want me to interview you, I can do that, but I'm going to be Joker.
And let's keep from now on. The rule on the show is no dating life talk.
All right.
Because I feel like I tried it. It bombed. Like I feel like shit because I went there. You obviously had nothing ready because your story was like sad, and you don't want to project sad.
Apparently, to you, tragedy and time is comedy. So.
That's true. Okay, well, we'll find out next week whether that formula is working. Because someone will be dead by suicide, and I think we all know who.
Well, we'll do the episode with Joker, and then the week after that, we'll do it without the Joker, and we'll talk about what happened, figure it out. But,
all right. Next week, I'll be in my brand new studio.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
With no girls around.
Oh. Peace, mate.
Love ya. Bye.